Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Chad. I'm a sales manager with Lancaster Bingo Company, and today I'd like to take a few moments and talk with you about a very important topic in our industry, our Pulltab players. As many of you know, Pulltab sales are a key profit center for most of your charities, and at times when we see club memberships decline or bingo player headcounts decrease, we typically see a drop in Pulltab sales as well. This makes it increasingly more difficult for you to maintain your much needed levels of profitability. So the focus of this video is building new Pulltab players for tomorrow using the players we have today. Let's get started by taking a quick look into the past. In 1985, over 80% of the Pulltab market was comprised of quarter and 50-cent instant tickets. 5 to 6 short years later, in the early 90s, the $1 seal card had entered into our markets. And by the late 90s into the turn of the century, $1 tabs had all but taken over the industry. So in 10 to 12 short years, we effectively converted our quarter and 50-cent players into $1 players. For the next several years, things were moving along pretty well. Our nation's economy was strong and our industry was thriving. But in a few short years to follow, we'd all be facing some major challenges that would test our industry's resilience. Statewide smoking bans, casinos, state lotteries, a stock market crash, and a housing market crash. All of those events had a hand in decreasing our industry's player pool. And in some markets, that decrease was high as 40%. And the players who did help us weather the storms did so, but with a much tighter grip on their money. Through all of that, our industry has rebounded, but we still face a major problem today. Statistics show us, on average, 30% of our bingo players play pull tabs. And in our private clubs, that number is reduced to 20%. That means 70 to 80% of the patrons who walk through our doors do not engage in the single most profitable facet of our industry. Let me put this another way. All of the time you spend on marketing, all of the money you spend on advertising, all of the efforts you put into the upkeep of your buildings, your clubs, and your halls, and all of the blood, sweat, and tears you put into attracting people into your venues gets diminished by the fact that 70 to 80% of your patrons don't spend a dime on tabs, and those happen to be the products that make your charity the most money. That is the problem we must fix today, because if we continue to wait and hope for something to change, the damage to our industry could be irreversible by the end of the next decade. So let's talk about a solution. We need to identify that 70% who are not playing tabs, our target market. We need to develop a plan, create the right products, and execute on selling those products. So let's first start off by identifying the 70%. Those are the players who might be on tight budgets or fixed incomes. They're the players who may want more bang for their buck or more value for their money. And they're the brand new players or club members who may not know how pull tabs work just yet. That is our target market. Now that we've identified them, what's the plan? Well, let's remember back to our timeline. In 1985, over 80% of the pull tab industry was quarter and 50-cent tabs. And in a little over a decade, we converted a majority of them into dollar players. So there's no need for us to recreate the wheel here. We just need to repeat that cycle. And we can do so by reintroducing a new family of quarter tickets with higher prizes that will attract your players' attention. So what would that family of products look like? Well, with the help of our manufacturers, we've developed a library of quarter games with higher prize levels ranging anywhere from $180 up to $250. Some even go as high as $500. And these high payout quarter tickets appeal to the players on tight budgets or fixed incomes because they allow them to play for big money without spending big money. In addition, they're a great introductory ticket for the brand new player who isn't quite ready to commit to your $1 tabs. These tickets also cater to players who want more bang for their buck. And they were designed with high win ratios, which allows your players to play more often and ultimately keeps them playing longer. So up to this point, we've identified our target market. We've created a plan to reintroduce a more appealing and powerful quarter ticket into that market. And we've developed the products which cater specifically to that market. What's left? How do we sell them? Well, if you manage a bingo and you have an abundance of volunteers, you may choose to sell them with floor walkers just as you do your $1 games. If you have a shortage of volunteers, you may decide to set up an instant table or an instant booth, which can be manned with just one volunteer. And if you run a bingo with very little volunteer support, or you're a club manager, a Pulltab vending machine may be the best solution for you. So whether you choose one method or a combination of the three, the results tend to be the same. More people playing tabs, which equates to more profit for your organization. This is a proven method that works. It's the business strategy of tiered pricing, which is by simply offering a variety of price levels on your products, you widen your reach to your target audience. Most bingo operators use this strategy when they price out their bingo packages, especially when they're offering multiple cuts of paper such as 6-ons and 9-ons and 18-ons. And our club managers do the same thing when they price out their beer and liquor products. And we're not the only industry who does this. Consider what our competition is doing. State lotteries offer instant tickets ranging anywhere from $1 up to $50. Our biggest competitor, the ones who have mastered this strategy, are the casinos. Their slot machines range anywhere from a penny up to $100. Players can wager billions of dollars a year in casinos all around this country on pennies, nickels, and quarter slot machines. So this point needs to be crystal clear to you. If you're not going to offer your players quarter tickets, they're going to go spend their quarter somewhere else. You've already done the work to get them in the door. Offer them something they can buy. So if you haven't started using quarter tickets in your club or bingo, please contact your LBC sales rep because he or she has everything you need to get started today. This program is a flagship program for our company and it's been successful throughout time and history. These games are profitable for your charity and they are absolutely critical to your organization's future. With that, I would like to thank you for watching today. I'd like to thank you for your continued efforts and I will thank you in advance for your commitment in helping us rebuild our future Pulltab players.